This is the 2018 Las Vegas Sun Basketball Media Day at the beautiful Red Rock Resort, brought to you by our sponsor, Sharky's Modern Mexican Kitchen, organic and natural ingredients that you can feel good about eating. They have 2 local locations as well as catering available. And the next team with us, the Cheyenne Desert Shields. We've got Coach Terrell Thayer, joined by 2 seniors, Damian Bonte and J.D. McCormick. Coach, give me sum up your team in a couple sentences going into this new year. What are they? What's kind of the defining characteristics of this year's Desert Shields?
I would say that this year we're going to be a pleasure to watch and play an exciting brand of basketball.
Pleasant to watch, but what is it that makes it such a, I guess, visually appealing version of basketball you guys are playing?
Well, this year I'm anticipating this year's team will be very similar to the teams when I first arrived at Cheyenne almost over 20 years ago. A great deal of athleticism, very aggressive style of play, a full-court style of play is what we hope to be engaging in this current season coming up.
Damon, it sounds like Coach is setting the bar high for you guys, comparing some of his great teams of the past. Is that exciting to hear as a player? Do you welcome that challenge, those high expectations?
Yeah, I like to hear that, being compared to the older teams.
What is it to you? What do you think you and your teammates do best? How are you guys going to catch opponents off guard on a nightly basis?
We run the floor a lot, rebound, get out. We know how to go through the plays. And yeah.
JD, that's both guys have mentioned getting up and down. That you guys are quick like that on the court. Is that a style that's good to fit your game as a player?
Definitely. I'm a fast guy, athlete. So being in a system where you run and run and run, and the coaches make sure we're conditioned up to run, it makes things a lot easier.
As Coach Fair said, tying back his whole tenure of 20 years at Cheyenne, what's it like to play for a guy like him who has such a track record? Is it easy to take direction from a guy that has such a long history of success?
Yes and no. I mean, I have a history with the coach. My cousin played here a couple of years ago, so there's some history. Of course, growing up, you hear about how Cheyenne went to this state championships and how good they are. So yeah.
Coach, how would you describe these 2 guys' games, and then maybe a few other guys to look out for at Cheyenne this year?
Well, first Damian. Damian has somewhat of what I would call an old school kind of game. Never seems to be necessarily moving too fast or too quick, but he's very crafty and highly effective. JD really harkens back to the kind of guard play that we were accustomed to for such a very long period of time. A live body, very energetic, going 100 miles an hour, very aggressive both offensively and defensively as well.
JD, what are the goals this season? What do you guys hope to accomplish?
Get back to where we were last year, state championship, and hopefully come out with a different inning and a victory. That's our main goal, to play in the last game of the year.
Right, you guys really broke out last year. Like you said, didn't ultimately end where you want, but does having that taste of success kind of drive you through the offseason and in the beginning of this year?
Definitely, but the end goal is to win a championship, and we didn't get that, so we got a little bitter taste in our mouth, and we are eager just to get back there.
Damon, not to change the subject, but I got to ask you a follow-up after Coach said you kind of got an old school game. It's not something you really hear that often anymore about a high school player. Do you really pride yourself on doing some different things well than most players coming into the season?
Yeah, I watch a lot of Carmelo Anthony, how he plays with his back to the basket a little bit, try to get some of his moves. Yeah. For
sure, and I'll give Coach the final word. What have you seen from this team as far as what JD was talking about, and all the success you had last year, but wanting to end it differently? Do you feel like there's been a different level of hunger going into the season?
I would say there's been quite a bit of a commitment to our preseason workouts thus far. I think last year was one of the better teams we had, not necessarily because of our performance on the floor, but more so because of the camaraderie both on and off the floor and how well they played together as a unit. And I can sense that in some of the preseason workouts, that a lot of that is carrying on, which is going to be the cornerstone of our success this season and in any past seasons and seasons in the future. Playing hard and playing together and playing unselfishly.
For sure. Well, a lot looking up at Cheyenne. This is the 2018 Las Vegas Sun High School Basketball Media Day. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.